Employee firewalls, human firewalls, cybersecurity, employee training, all these terms used interchangeably. However, you're taking the humans that work in your business and making them your first and most important line of defense against cyber attacks. And oh, by the way, this is a critical component of being IRS Safeguards Rule compliant. My name is Jamie. I'm the CEO, CTO, and founder of Virtual Sprout. And today we're going to dissect the employee training mandate inside the IRS Safeguards Rule and relate it back to the FTC Safeguards Rule employee training component as well. So, quick refresher for those of you that do not know, anybody handling federal taxpayer information or FTI is required to comply with the IRS Safeguards Rule. And conversely, anybody that is a financial institution, i.e., accountants, tax prep, and or anybody that handles money in a large way or consumer information in a large way. So think auto dealerships, universities extending loans or facilitating loans, traditional banks, credit unions, all those folks are also bound by the FTC Safeguards Rule. So for the IRS Safeguards Rule and the employee training component, what really goes into that, what's required? So first and foremost, we could talk easily about how we deliver these trainings and how they are compliant with the IRS Safeguards Rule. And then you can take what we do and see what works for you. First, we deliver micro trainings regularly, monthly, sometimes weekly, depending on the customer. And then we have roll-up trainings on a quarterly, semi-annual, annual basis that we deliver throughout the year that cover a wide variety of topics. Phishing, what to look like, what to look for in an email, what constitutes a threat, what's good password hygiene, how to use multi-factor, why should you have a clean desk, goes into a whole variety of topics that help those employees and those humans be really, really strong with cybersecurity and just fraud detection in general. Secondly, we test. We test throughout the year. We score everybody. We let the management team in the customer organization or in our organization know this is how we're doing as a group. This is how we're doing as an individual. We need to do some work over here because these folks just aren't understanding enough. These folks are strong. So all the testing going in, and then we do a ton of simulated phishing. What's simulated phishing? We send in emails that look like they're threats. They look like fraudulent stuff, or actually they don't look like they're fraudulent stuff, but they're designed to trick the employee or the end user into clicking, into opening, into interacting with that email, where we, like a threat actor, will capture information and then we enroll them automatically into training to let them know why they should have detected it, what to look for. The email looked funny. There wasn't a header that showed that it came from the outside. It was the same name as maybe the CEO that was coming in, but it was coming in from a Gmail account. All the things that make it suspicious, we help train the end user on as to look at this, make sure you're not clicking on things, and we're doing that through simulated phishing. Now, where this differs for the IRS Safeguards Rule part versus the FTC safeguards or other compliance frameworks is that you need to have certifications by the employees that they understand how they're protecting the FTI and that they understand how they're complying with the cybersecurity tools, frameworks in general. So there is an annual certification that needs to be captured, signed off by the employee, and then the organization also needs to sign off with the IRS on an annual basis that they are IRS Safeguards Rule compliant. One other thing to note, we've talked about this before, if you are obligated to be IRS Safeguards Rule compliant, and that's anybody touching any FTI, there is no real exception to that, you are generally also obligated underneath the FTC Safeguards Rule. They actually bypass some of the thresholds that you would be otherwise exempt from the FTC portions if you're IRS Safeguards Rule compliant eligible. So if you have to comply with the IRS part of it, you absolutely have to comply with the FTC part of it. So make sure you understand. The good news is you're compliant on the IRS side, you're generally compliant on the FTC side, but make sure you're in your incident response plan reporting to both parties if you have a breach. As always, If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We have a fantastic program. 15 minutes of time gets you a scorecard as to whether you are compliant or partially compliant or not compliant at all with the IRS and the FTC Safeguards Rule. Reach out. We'll get you a copy of that tool and or do it for you with you for free. cyber-strategy.virtualsprout.info. Get booked in. We'll get you set up with these tools, and we have some other goodies that we'll give your way to help you get to compliance faster and easier. Hope you had a great day. Hope you learned something. Reach out soon.